Good morning, everybody. I hope you are well. So, some news came out as far as Pokemon is related, and apparently, Nintendo is going to be shutting down the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U eShop. Now, this is, sucks for a variety of reasons, but from a Pokemon perspective, aside from the fact that I own all of my copies of the 3DS games digitally because I'm a dumbass. Part of the issue of this is, I think, the following. They're also making it so the Pokebank is free, and which is great, so after that date, the Pokemon Bank will be free. But here's the thing: there's no new way to get the Pokemon Bank after the date they get rid of it, which is the end of March 2023. So we have a year. We have a full year before this. And that's all well and good. But let's just take stock of something real quick. This is the eBay search for a 3DS. Now, basically, I've done some looking around, and on today, February 17th, 2022, if you want a 3DS, that is, you like when you buy it, it's going to work, you're going to be paying close to $100. Yes, you could pay less a little bit, but for anybody who has ever tried to buy vintage gaming anything cheap, that you are more likely to get fucked over, and it's better to just pay the extra 20, 30, 40% that you're trying to avoid so you get a working product when it's shipped to you. I'm not saying you're completely likely to get burned, but you're much less likely to get burned from a seller that's pricing it accordingly. And so here's the problem. Eventually, I'll be fine. I'll be able to pull my things from Pokemon Emerald, bring them all the way forward, and I'll be able to play them bitches on, through Pokemon Bank and to Pokemon Home, all well and good. But this just goes to show part of the fucking problem of being a Pokemon fan for this many years and maintaining, a library like this long. Make no mistake, I've since transported everything all the way from Gen 3 to the modern Pokemon Home. And that's all well and good. But what this is doing is that you can only transfer Pokemon from Generation 6, from Generation 6 and 7 forward for another year. And anything before that counts as well, because you're not going to be able to download the Poke-Transponder anymore either. And this is part of my problem with Nintendo in as a Pokemon fan. And it's part of the reason why I personally kind of at this point in my life would rather turn to a more MMO style of Pokemon. Not in the sense of a Pokemon MMO, but just something where my progress will persist. And I don't have to worry about not being able to access certain content from years past anymore. Because the whole point of Pokemon, the entirety of my life has been, you bring your progress forward, no matter how long or how far it's been. If you started with Gen 3 and you started with Gen 4, well, you can bring your Pokemon forward with you, and you can and that is important. That backwards forward progression from previous things was always something very important. And yet now this is actually going to be the end of transfers for generations before Generation 8. If you still have a physical copy and you can still play them, but you don't have access, you can't move those Pokemon forward anymore. You know, it was already, I think, a problem that Pokemon Home was a paid service in its regard. Yeah, it was $5. Who gives a shit? And I defended it because, but in hindsight, it's like, it doesn't really, it goes kind of against the spirit, you know? So either way, the clock starts now. If you're a longtime Pokemon fan like yours truly, the clock starts now. You gotta get a 3DS. You gotta get a copy of you gotta get Pokemon Home on your system. Like, get it on the system itself. Like, you don't even have to pay the $5 monthly, but if you don't have a 3DS and you're an old school Pokemon fan and you want to maybe bring your Pokemon over, like from your billionth playthrough of Pokemon Platinum or Pokemon Black and White 2 or whatever, it's now or never. Unfortunate as that might be, it's now or never, and the clock starts now. You got a year to get a 3DS and to get a copy of Pokemon Home onto that 3DS, so you are able to do this into the future until Nintendo eventually decides to kill Pokemon Home. Pokemon Pokemon Bank as a service down the line. So, clock starts now, everybody. And also the clock starts for like the eventual death of backwards compatibility of Pokemon games. We knew Nintendo doesn't really give a shit about maintaining old things. They obviously don't, you know. They send cease and desist for people who use ROMs but then don't ever offer the ability to buy those games through them. So, regardless. Add this to the list of reasons why it's morally okay to pirate, you know, Nintendo products and why I play Poke MMO anyways. Regardless, big thank you to my patrons. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I appreciate you bunches and I appreciate your support. Appreciation of my Twitch subs too. I go live 4 out of the 7 days a week usually, sometimes more, but usually minimum 4. Thank you guys for your support as well. Thank you to the viewer. Let me know what you think down in the comments about this all going on, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Poggers.